reactions to all things addicts. Like Melendez giving up, ADBs crashing out, a mouse trying to roach. That's why we're waiting all day for that late night advance. Maddenattics, football with ads on Twitch, and always remember Flint is a bench.
And welcome to this week's episode of the Hen House. I'm your boy Henny, joined today by a Camp Hendez member himself, Jay Riley.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
So, and we are Sin Melendez again. He did help with the input when it comes to our rankings. We are at the middle of season 5, so we are going to be doing our full 32 user power rankings today. We are not doing a Monday Night Football ticket this week, more because I don't have time to film it, but we will post one later today. But all right, let's get going to our rankings. All right, moving on to our bottom 10, 32 to 23. So we have at 32 the Jets Noop, 31 the Saints Goose, the Chiefs Clue at 30. We have at 29 the Bears Bullet, 28 the Colts Nesquik or Quick, 27 the Broncos James, 26 the Bills. Pretty sure his name is Darth Raider. I hope I'm right on that. 25 is the Titans Dub, 24 is the Eagles Red Dog, and 23 is Scada at the Bucks. Now, all these teams I put on my little notes here have 2 wins or less. There have been a couple of drastic falls for some users. Scada, Red Dog, but obviously no bigger than Goose, who was an NFC finalist and is now the second worst record. And we have a bunch of new users here, so since you're seeing this for the first time, Riley, what do you think? Any one here drastically underrated, or what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think, kind of looking at the list, and you kind of said the same thing. There's some guys that have been competitive over the years, whether it's different Maddens or even, like I said, this Madden that that fell off this season. I think just kind of looking at some names, and again, I've probably played 3 or 4 of these guys. I think, Goose has given fits to a lot of users. He gave me a couple fits during our game, and I think, just a down year for that guy, but I do think he will be back on the up and up, hopefully coming up next season.
I really thought he was
always
turn.
been.
Yeah.
No, he's always been this consistent user, so I think for him, just,
And Clue's also. And Clue's technically, I mean, I guess you could call it a new user, kind of, because he's new as in terms of when he joined. So usually, if it's we have 3 new users, 30, 28, and 27. We all know Clue, and I know James and Quick, and they're better than 2-win teams too. But other teams I could easily see bounce back and being in that middle 22 to 11 next year. Obviously, just the biggest shocker is just Goose on here. I mean, I predicted him to be my first team out, and I love you, Goose, but damn, I was wrong. because, I thought he turned it around. It may be more so bad luck, but I mean, that's just such a drastic drop off. And I don't know really what's the thing you can pinpoint. Maybe it's playing a first place schedule. I mean, obviously the big one was Davis really not tanking, but not really trying either. But I mean, damn. And even Scada on here. Scada is a good user too to be at 23. So there's a couple of weird ones here, but I feel like it's as we go through, as we're going to go to 22 to 11 now, we start seeing a little more of the status quo on here. So going at 22, we have the return of Yib at the Vikings at 22, Beast at 21 at the 49ers, a big shocker here, Mel at 20 with the Texans, Sean with a personal high at 19, attaboy Sean. The Browns, P-Funk at 18, Eclipse at 17 with the Packers, Bang at 16 with the Bengals, Frank at 15 with the Steelers, Ty at 14 with the Raiders. I got you at 13, Riley, the highest AFC South user. OG, the Ravens at 12, and Reg at 11 with the Cowboys. And my notes for this one, I mean, I got to be blunt. Are you all right, Mel? Because this is a not Mel record at any point in any season. I don't know if he's not trying. I mean, I'm not paying that much attention to him, but I mean, not trying, or he's just really taking that step back. I mean, I know you personally have taken a major step forward too. which obviously not to discount you're winning the division right now, but I didn't think he'd be under 500 either. And then some other teams I'm surprised. Eclipse and Bang being around 500, but I know they're better than 500 users. And like I said, Sean's highest ranking ever. I mean, and also got to throw a little bit of shade there. I mean, he did drop 100 on a team that was in the top 5. I don't know if you watched that game, but I sure as hell did.
I caught the ending of it. A lot of points being scored. He said he was putting up 100, and he got it towards the end, so that was good to see.
I was just in shock with that. But at the time, he was. Ignore that. I hate these bells here. But whatchamacallit, 100 points, and at the time he was undefeated too. Now he's clearly having a good season. But Sean even proved to me last year, where forget it was either second to last week or the last week of the year, we had a 70-69 game. Like, when Sean is on, Sean could legitimately score at one of those elite clips. It's just Sean is very wildly inconsistent, aka that's kind of why his record is the way it is now. But this is also the first time Sean is not the lowest ranked in the division. He's on the come up to an extent. I mean, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this like middle half of the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at it, I think Mel, him being in my division, that he has kind of like a Flint schedule. It's hard to schedule with the guy.
Very
true. A couple of his losses, come back to just not being able to schedule. So, I think me and him at a sim end up getting a win in the sim. There's been a couple other times with him. So, I think that's tough. And then, I mean, Bang right now, I think that guy, it's hard to stop that guy. I had to play him preaching to the choir. Easy thing.
I played him, I think, week 2 or 3, and I won quite literally on a walk-off touchdown. And I knew if I gave him the ball back, I was screwed. I forget what the score was, but it was a shootout. Like, I always preach, 4-4 is him. Like, I still think he has, if not the top, one of the top passing offenses. And, I mean, you know this for a fact. Like, you know what he's going to do, too. Like, you know it's going to be 4 wide with a tight end or 5 wide, and he's going to throw the ball. But his team is just that good that unless you just get lucky, if he just doesn't F up, like, he's going to tear any defense to shreds. You just got to pray to get the ball last.
When he's on, he's, like you said, top 5 user. Yeah, I mean,
at minimum in the passing side, because he does have holes on defense, and obviously, I don't know if he could run I don't think he could run in general. He has to, maybe I'm wrong speaking on that, but I've never seen him try to run. But why run when you could just pass for 600?
There you go. But definitely him being a surprise, and a surprise user. I think that's seems like he's figuring some things out. And I don't recall this guy winning many games. I know he had the Raiders last Madden, but P-Funk with the Browns 4-4.
That whole division is around the same record. Like, because you're right. Like, he's not someone I usually think of. Someone that's in the mix for a division race. I mean, I don't think me or Melendez had him as a prediction for even a playoff spot on either of us, like division or wild card. We got the Ravens at 12, him at 15, the Bengals at 16, the Browns at 18. Like, that whole division is just straight in the middle of the pack.
Yep.
Literally all of them. And then obviously I think the top 3 on this list were, I would say, honorary top 10. Like, it feels rough putting like you, OG, or Reg out of the top 10. It just kind of came down to, honestly, I think when I was making the rankings, like 0.4. But like, you could easily make a case for 1 through 13 all being worthy of top 10, and it just came down to literal decimal points.
Yeah.
So,
which, like I said, OG, he's on the come up. Reg, really good user. I think I do some things that cause fits, but like you said,
you definitely cause fits here, and I think you've clearly taken that mantle of the top user in the AFC South now. I mean, I don't think that's really a question anymore, especially because Mel's definitely regressed. I feel like also people have kind of figured out that Mel's all DB strategy doesn't really work as well on this Madden, because what the hell is defense?
There you go. What's defense?
Like, I barely invested in defense, but the fact, like, what's the point? Yep. Then moving on to our top 10, which is a very good top 10, leading off with a inaugural member in the top 10, Melendez, who had 6-3 with the Seahawks. He is currently winning the division. The reason he's not at number 1 is because of the fact he has played a weaker schedule than me. I'm not going to discount that. But in terms of points 4, which is why I put myself, the Cardinals at 9, I think there's almost like 100 to 150 point difference in points 4. So, regardless though, he's a debut member in the top 10, myself at 9. Sports Freak back where he should be in the top 10 at number 8. I think he's right ahead of me in like the 450s with points. He's killing it this year. Mouse at 7, which I know the drop from 1 to 7, but I think the big thing with Mouse in particular is the fact that he's semi-maintaining the hot streak and not having the epic collapse of, what was it, last year, where he lost like 6 in a row after being undefeated. Dave is at 6 with the Falcons. Again, clearly he's back to being himself. I mean, he's technically behind Mouse by a half game, but same amount of losses. Zilla at 5. Zilla's just really consistent. I mean, I don't think Zilla's all that cheesy, but he's just hella consistent, almost like a Saints pride. Stank at 4. One of my notes for Stank is Stank a legit contender, or is Stank a product of the success Flynn had prior with that roster? I'm still not convinced on that, truthfully. We got Mo at 3, a Hendez member there. Always up there, one of the cheesiest MFs in this league. DJ again at number 2. Will he actually follow through on retirement? Who the hell knows? And then Pride gets number 1 as being the lone undefeated left. Again, you know Pride's always in the mix there, just like DJ, Mo, always either in the mix there. You could have easily put any of them in the top 1, 2, and 3 and probably not blinked an eye. But Pride gets the edge because he hasn't lost yet, so he'll be wrong not to. And I think I talked on all my notes here, but I'm curious what your thoughts are in these top 10.
Yeah, I mean, with the 10, shout out Melendez. He's getting it done. I heard he's got the lone 99 overall team, and he can somehow pay all these guys. So shout out that guy.
Well, I know in his case, like, I know for a fact, and this might be a little bit of a Madden cheese moment for everyone, but I know I have the same strategy. Your practice squad means a lot if you want to try to build one of these Super 99 teams. Mono's done a little bit better job than me, but he don't pay his backups. Like, he uses every single practice squad person. So just a little tip for you dudes who complain for a restart that are most that, I know not you, but the other ones that are cap broke, maybe use your practice squad a little bit. But I'll let you continue.
And I think, looking at Tim Melendez, with you, I think we actually played week 1 this year, actually. And I know I hit you with the restart cheese.
I hated it. I felt so bad, but that was such a good game too, and it just went to shit for me.
Yeah, definitely had a good battle. I do think, like you said, you're continuing. You've been good over the past Madden, so always respect the opponent. Freak, I'm not on the sports freak train, truthfully.
Yeah, and obviously I'm partially on that train with you, but obviously last year was a drastically different thing. The reason he's up here, well, record aside, and the reason I put him ahead of me, his offense is, I knew my offense was good in the 450s. He's right there with me. And I know it'll be on next week's show just because I got a clip from him yesterday, which, sorry, Sports Week, I just didn't have time to put together the video clip. But he won on a walk-off touchdown on prevent defense, where if that didn't happen, he's probably not even in this top 10. So he's probably in that 14 below range.
Yeah, I think he sent me that clip earlier this morning. Like he said, he did get behind those guys and had a big play in that back of the end zone. So, I do think, he's got a little cheese in him, but, he's got those big receivers too. I think he has 2 guys over 6'6". Like, the guy.
Oh, he's got trees.
Yeah. And now, Davis, I always respect the Davis, really good ball player. He does what he got to do. I do think if you kind of look at it, I know we're talking about Stank. I think I've always felt this. I think Stank is the best user in Addicts. I know people want to give me the Flynn and, Pride. I think Stank has proven over 6, 7 Madden since we've been together. Like, the guy's one of the most consistent users. When he wants to get it done, he gets it done. He could take UBO's team and take it to the championship. So
that's fair. And like my whole note with, like, we knew he would get to this point eventually. I remember I said in the last show that I thought it'd be a little bit of rust before he got to that point. Like, is he actually a little bit rusty, or is he a product of having inherited a good team that he didn't have to build? Where he would be in this mix eventually. I just didn't expect him to be at this point this quickly.
Yeah, and I think it could be twofold. I think Flynn did leave him with a squad for sure. So, we just got to see when he kind of gets the playoff time if he can get over the hump against Pride, and maybe he's in the Super Bowl.
And then I think our top 3, like I said, I think are very interchangeable. Like, it's tough to not put Pride 1, even though if you were to ask me who was the cheesiest of these 3, I think I'd put Pride 3rd. in terms of that top 3. But, I mean, it's tough. It can't really disrespect the guy who's undefeated. But realistically, Mo and DJ are, I mean, I think are both cheesier users. Mo, I think, is the better offensive user. DJ just always finds a way to summon some freaking demon magic to get it done. I don't even know how to explain it at this point. He always just finds some demon magic to find a way to win all these games with some type of cheese that just comes out of left field.
Yeah, no, I think DJ, I've played him 3 times since I've been back, and he's put up 60 each time. This is the one guy I think, that defense he has legit guys. I mean,
and his special teams too.
Yeah.
Like when I lost to him last year, I lost because he had 2 fourth-quarter kickoffs. Well, granted, that's my fault for being the retard who kicked it to him, but still, the fact to score your last 2 times you touched the ball, you scored kickoff touchdowns, and remember you even bragging to me in DMs saying I would probably return multiple kicks per season, and it's tough to do. So he just always finds a way to be just really cheesy in some aspect that just feels like you should have won, but you didn't win.
And, with Pride, just the amount of consistency. I mean, that guy.
He's not cheesy, but he's consistent.
No, I don't think Pride actually has any cheese. I think that guy comes out here, uses real
logic
schemes on offense, and that defense gives fits. And he always has a user that is top in the league in picks, and he calls his fits. I think.
The one year he had it was Shadavius Ward, who I remember I traded him just as a cap filler, which made no sense to me.
But yeah, Pride definitely,
And the reason he's always up here is the fact that he's the one user that you can't go into it expecting I'll even say a bang type thing, he's gonna pass it all today, or Mouse gonna be throwing high, or maybe rocket catching, or me when it comes to running with a quarterback. You really can't nail down exactly what Pride's gonna do that game because he really adapts it to the user and has a backup plan for it too. I mean, it's methodical, but I've said every show, that process, the Cheddar amplifies in the playoffs where his style of play isn't really built for a playoff run, but he's always going to be a 1 seed or barely off of it.
Please pardon the interruption. This is directed at middle school. You will be having lunch in about less than 10 minutes, and Father asked and made a request.
All right, and we're going to wrap it up there because I'm running out of time with the weird day today. But I hope you guys enjoyed the power rankings. Now, obviously, stay tuned for later. We will post our Monday Night Football ticket. I appreciate you jumping on the show today, Riley. Honestly, I mean, always you got an open door. About to say you got some really good insight there. Obviously, we're always going to welcome a Camp Hendez member. We never got a chance to actually ask about this. Your first time on audio, joking aside, it's kind of become a moment, a little mini movement. How does it feel kind of being a member of Camp Hendez now?
I think it's good. I've came into the Madden League a couple years ago. I've been in since the Maddenattics we kind of started with the combination. I've only ever had White Boy Baller. He was my only guy. So now it feels like, I got a group of guys we can come in apart. I know we had a draft party the other time, and we had good
and obviously
members in there.
Me and Melinda don't just jump in parties much at all, but we're always texting and we're always chatting all the Hendez people during chats. It really did start off with a little joke movement, and when I retired apparently, and then it honestly became a thing. Where ever since I've come back now, Camp Hendez has really become a thing. But no, and obviously we're all chill with each other. Everyone in Camp Hendez is a chill dude. But no, I appreciate you jumping on. Melendez does send his regards to everyone here. He should hopefully be back on for next week, where we should be right around our playoff time. So doing our playoff predictions, and please keep sending in clips. Once I get enough clips, we do have enough now. We start putting together a little bit of a highlight reel for Maddenattics money or whatever the hell it's called. Is that the official name for it? Is it Addicts money?
I think so. The Addicts money.
Because I know in other ones there's a name for it, but either way. But stay tuned next week. Once again, I'm your boy Blue Henny signing off, and we will see you next week.
Waiting all day for the leak to crank at night. Get on your feet for cheese-filled fight. More than a game, these boys won't touch grass. Even for the boys that are perennial. Welcome to 80 beats crashing out, a mouse trying to roach. That's why we're waiting all day for that late night